Maybe you've heard this story before. There was a young man who wanted to become a ski champion, so he goes to see this guru, right? And he tells the guru, I'd like to be on the same level as you. So the guru says, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow, 6 a.m., the beach. The young man says, the beach? I want to ski. I don't want to swim. The guru says, hey, if you want to become a champion, tomorrow, 6 a.m. So the young man gets there at 6 a.m. all ready to rock and roll. He's got all his ski gear on. Should have worn his shorts instead. And the old man grabs him by the hand and says, how bad do you want to be successful? The young man replies, real bad. So the guru says, okay, walk out into the water. So the young man walks out into the water and goes about waist deep and thinks to himself like, this guy's crazy. I want to ski. He's got me out here swimming. I didn't ask him to be a lifeguard. The guru says, come out a little further. And he gets him right out to about shoulder depth in the water. And the young man thinks to himself again, this guy is crazy. He may be a great ski coach, but he's crazy. The guru says, come on, come out a little further. So the young man steps another step and gets the water right up to about his mouth. And he says to the guru, hey, I'm going back in. I think you're out of your mind. You're nuts. The old man says, hey, I thought you wanted to be successful. The young man replies, I do. He says, in a little further then. The young man takes his next step, and the guru pushes his head right down in the water and holds his head there. Just before the young man was about to pass out, the guru pulls him up. He says, hey, I've got a question for you. When you were underwater, what did you want to do most? The young man replied, I wanted to breathe. The old guy told him, when you want to succeed as bad as you wanted to breathe, you will be successful. Now, I don't know if you've ever had an asthma attack and had SOB, that's shortness of breath, and you're wheezing. And the only thing you're trying to do is get some air. You don't care about any ski race. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about anybody calling you, and you don't want to party. All you care about is trying to get some fresh air. And when you get to that point, you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, you'll be successful. I'm here to tell you that most athletes want success, but they don't want it real bad. They just kind of want it. They don't want it as bad as they want to party. They don't want it as bad as they want to be cool. Most don't want success as much as they want to sleep. Sleep! Some love sleep more than they love success. I'm going to tell you, if you want to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You're going to have to learn to work off 3-4 hours sleep. There may be a night when you don't sleep at all, because if you sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you gotta want it. Listen to me. You have to be totally engaged. Sleep! Why sleep when you have the opportunity to make a dream become reality? Now you probably think this was the end of the story. You think just because the student was willing to be obedient to the guru, to wake up and meet him at the beach early in the morning, that was enough. You think because he was willing to walk into the ocean, that was enough. Because the guru pushed his head underwater and pulled it out just before he drowned, taught him that the secret of success was wanting it as bad as he wanted to breathe. So you thought this was the end of the story. You thought that this one single event, this one single moment was enough to teach the young man to stand among skiing's greats, to make his dreams become reality. Well, you thought wrong. It's far from over. That was just the easy part. Now it's time to redefine the grind. Now it's time to get started. See, this is the part where life demands that you make a lifelong commitment. This is the part where life demands that you make a vow that come hell or high water, you're willing to pay the price, the full fare. This is where you earn your spot with effort, sweat, blood, and tears. So you say you want it as bad as you want to breathe. Well then, it's showtime. It's examination time. It's time to get tested, time to test your will, your endurance, to test your heart and test your limits. This is the part where you'll reinvent yourself. See, it's about no days off, no weekends, no holidays, no half days, no snow days. It's about gaining the competitive edge. It's about separation. You're going to start separating yourself from your past and the competition. It's about being a little faster and a little stronger. Listen to me now. A little faster than you were last year, last month, last week. In fact, you've got to be a little faster today than you were yesterday. On the road to success, you can't afford to make any excuses. No excuses when you feel the pain. And trust me, you're going to feel it. You're going to have to dig deep, deep down beyond exhaustion. When it's harder than you ever imagined it would be, when it takes longer than you thought it would take, when the load is heavier than you can stand, when all you want to do is give up and all you want to do is give in, when you feel that you've given all you've got to give, you've got to take one more step. You've got to do one more repetition. You've got to make one more run down the hill. You've got to fight back. You've got to fight back a little harder. You've got to defeat disappointment. You've got to annihilate your weaknesses so that you can punish your competition. It's about pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's about perfecting the you. Not just doing more, not just doing better, but finding yourself. Finding the best in yourself. Listen to me. It's more than just wanting it as much as you wanted to breathe. That's not enough. You will have to face every fear one day at a time until you and only you are left standing. There's no one else. There's nothing in your way until you reach the top. So, you say you want to be successful. You want to be a winner. You want to become the champion. You need to understand that winning is not a sometimes thing. You don't do things right once in a while. You have to do them right all the time. Excellence must be pursued. It must be wooed with all of one's might and every bit of effort that we have each day, with every new encounter, and each week with every new challenge. You need to be able to get past all of the displays, the noise, the glamour, all of the color and excitement, because these are the things that linger only in the memory. But the spirit, the will to excel, the will to win, these are the things that will endure. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength or a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of self-discipline and will. It isn't in fearlessness, but it's in sacrifice, it's in self-denial, it's in the love of what you're doing, it's in loyalty and humility, and the perfectly disciplined will. There's only one way to succeed at anything, and that's to give it everything you have to give, because great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice. Most people succeed because they're absolutely determined to. This isn't only the difference between athletes, it's the difference between greatness and mediocrity. If a coach is lucky enough to find a skier with a lot of head and a lot of heart, I'll almost guarantee that he or she is never going to come off the hill second. Finally, I want to give you 3 simple little rules that we've used at every school I've coached where we've been successful. And I guarantee that these 3 rules are so simple, I'm almost embarrassed to tell them to you. Do what's right. Second, do the best you can. And lastly, always treat others as you'd like to be treated. I think if you ever have any doubt about the right and proper thing, just ask yourself, is this the right thing to do?
I will.